Good evening. Coming up tonight.
Former President Donald Trump visited the South Carolina State House this weekend.
Plus, a new bill regarding USC student election spending that has been passed by the Student Senate.
And later, see how the women's basketball team fared against Alabama this past Sunday.
But first, Nicole Smith is in the studio here with us now. Nicole, what weather can we expect to see this week?
We can be expecting to see some cloudy weather coming up this week. I'll have the weather forecast for this week and more for you on tonight on SGTV Student News at 7.
Live from the Kennedy Greenhouse Studio.
This is Student News at 7.
Good evening, Carolina. I'm Tyler Perrone.
And I'm Caroline Smith. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Former President Donald Trump visited the South Carolina State House this past Saturday. This visit, along with a visit in New Hampshire, marked the start of his 2024 presidential campaign. More than 350 people gathered inside the State House to hear the former president, while many more stood outside on the grounds.
Columbia residents and even USC students came out to show support or to protest Trump's campaign, while others came just to witness history. USC student Thomas Strebick attended the event saying, quote, "It's just the idea of seeing someone who will someday be a historical figure," end quote.
During the event, Trump opened his speech by announcing that South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster is leading his SC leadership team. The former president spoke about other possible Republican candidates, including former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
Neither Haley nor DeSantis have confirmed whether or not they will join the race. Currently, Trump is the only announced candidate for the Republican nomination. The trial of Alec Murdaugh continued this morning in Walterboro, South Carolina. Murdaugh is accused of killing his wife and son in June of 2021 on their family's property. Last week, the jury for the trial was selected. Testimony began on Thursday morning with the first responders to the scene, as well as the recording of the original 911 call made by Murdaugh.
This morning, defense attorney Dick Harpootlian began the session with cross-examinations of SLED agent Melinda Worley and SLED senior special agent Jeff Croft. At the time of the murders, Worley was the agent that responded to the crime scenes. Harpootlian asked Agent Worley about specifics of the crime scene, the flight path of bullets, and several photos that were taken at the crime scene.
Harpootlian proceeded to ask Special Agent Croft about the phone call history of the victims shortly before their bodies were found. Croft also elaborated on DNA testing that was done in relation to the crime, as well as body cam footage that was taken at the scene. As
the trial continues, Alec Murdaugh pleads not guilty to the charges. The trial is expected to last about another 2 weeks. Live coverage of the trial can be found at Columbia's WLTX.com. The Student Senate collectively passed a bill on January 18th that will limit campaign spending for future student government races. The bill created a $1,500 cap on spending for individuals, with an additional allowance of $500 per subsequent executive campaign candidate within the campaign.
Another rule now in place states that no campaign can exceed $3,000 in spending, regardless of how many subsequent executive candidates are on the bill. When asked about campaign spending for the current term, 5 of the 7 candidates for the 2022 executive office disclosed information regarding amounts and the sources of their campaign budgets.
The only 2 to not disclose their budgets were President and Vice President-elects Reedy Newton and Maya Porzio, with Newton saying that, quote, "That's not a number I'm comfortable sharing publicly, ever. I think that's a private matter," end quote. President Newton once again found herself at a crossroads on January 24th, the date in which she was expected to either veto or sign the campaign spending bill initiated by the Senate.
However, no action was made towards the bill on the 24th, as there was a discrepancy between the student government codes and the student body constitution. The codes state that the president has 4 university days to take action on a bill, while the Constitution gives 10 calendar days for the decision. Patton Byers, Newton's chief of staff, addressed the discrepancy on behalf of the president-elect, clarifying that, quote, "I think she'll use as much time as she needs, whether that's tomorrow or whether that's the 10 days, end quote.
This weekend, the Gamecocks Women's Lacrosse Club played their first game since 2018 after returning from a 4-year ban from the university.
The ban began with an anonymous report filed on October 2nd, 2018. claiming the team hazed members with, quote, rapid alcohol consumption, distribution of alcohol, and inappropriate activities, end quote. The university found the club guilty on all charges, inciting a 4-year sanction from November 7th, 2018 until November 7th, 2022.
Club co-president Carlin Antolini recognizes the club's perceived identity and hopes to distance all current and future members from the team's previous flaws. The team prevailed in their season opener with a score of 9-7 at Auburn. This is a promising start for an organization that seeks not only to win games and improve their reputation, but to also expand the reach of women's lacrosse in general.
Antolini expressed this hope on behalf of the team, stating that, quote, the ultimate goal in the future is that Clemson just added a varsity women's lacrosse team, and hopefully one day, very far down the line, South Carolina will do the same, and I can say that I had a part in starting that, end quote. I'm so proud of our women's lacrosse team for getting started again and making efforts to make their reputation better.
Me too. It can be difficult trying to start from the ground up, but these ladies, you know, especially Miss Antolini, I love to see that they're working hard and playing hard to try and fix themselves.
Absolutely.
Coming up after the break, the latest in Gamecock sports. Stay close.
SGTV News 4 sports reporter Spencer Ball has the scoop. What have you got for us, Spencer?
Aaliyah Boston powered the Gamecocks to another SEC victory over Alabama with a score of 65-52. Boston notched yet another double-double to her resume, and she shot a remarkable 80% from the field. Bree Hall had a career-high 18 points, which helped propel the Gamecocks to their 21st win of the season. Alabama did manage to keep it close in the first half, but the Gamecocks would eventually pull away and shut the door on the Crimson Tide. The Gamecocks are back in action Thursday night at 7 p.m. when they will host the Kentucky Wildcats in Colonial Life Arena. Moving on to the men's side of things, Gamecocks men's basketball has suffered their 5th straight defeat after barely losing to the Georgia Bulldogs 81-78. The Gamecocks had 5 players in double figures, with Gigi Jackson leading the scoring attack with 18 points. Hayden Brown snagged his first double-double of the season, putting up a strong 17 points, paired with 10 rebounds. The Gamecocks made a season-high 13 three-pointers, but their shooting in overtime was dreadful, only making 1 shot on 11 attempts. They'll be back in action tomorrow night right here in Columbia to take on Mississippi State at 6:30. For News 4 Sports, I'm Spencer Ball.
Thanks, Spencer. Coming up after the break, News 4 entertainment reporter Rachel Carter will lay down the talk of the town. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Joining me now is entertainment reporter Rachel Carter to fill us in on what's happening in Columbia this weekend. What do you have for us, Rachel?
The Columbia Museum of Art is hosting a funk and soul music listening party this Thursday in celebration of Black History Month. The party is part of Free First Thursday at the museum, making admissions to the event free. Join DJ Lady Murdaugh and More Than Rhythm series host Dr. Brigitte Johnson as the pair discusses music and films that are reflective of the Black dance music of the 1960s and 70s. The party is being presented by the Baker & Baker Foundation, and the event is part of More Than Rhythm's month-long celebration of soul music. So this is a great event. It's free. I mean, I have class on Thursday, but it's all day long, so I'm definitely going to try and stop by if I can after my class.
Absolutely, yeah. I love the Museum of Art. I definitely plan on going out to this event.
Yeah. And so if you're too busy during the week, there's some cool events this weekend. The South Carolina State Museum is celebrating South Carolina blues music through its presentation of Drink Small and South Carolina Blues Day. This Saturday, join the Cola Jazz Foundation in honoring South Carolina musician Drink Small. A mini exhibition will be presented including memorabilia and guitars from Small's career, as well as a screening of a documentary featuring Small. There will also be cake in celebration of Small's 90th birthday. Tickets for this event are included with general admission to the museum. The event will be held from 11 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. A time limit of activities can be found on the museum's website. So I don't know a lot about bluegrass music, but I do love birthday cake, so I might have to check this one out too.
Absolutely. It's nothing like a birthday party to cheer up your weekend.
Well, that's all your entertainment news for tonight. Coming up after the break, Nicole Smith will let you know if this cold weather sticks around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Nicole Smith. Here's your look at tonight's forecast. Tonight's temperatures are at 50 degrees with those winds going 1 mile per hour and that humidity at 98% with that moon going into that waxing gibbous. Now let's take a look at what tomorrow is going to look like in that layout. Here in the morning, we're going to have those showers with the 66 degrees. And as we move into the afternoon, we're going to have some cloudy weather with that chance of rain still coming on through. And as we move into the evening time, we're going to still have that cloudy weather, but there's going to be rain showers here and there. Now that we've talked about what the week's gonna look, tomorrow is gonna look like, let's talk about what the week's gonna look like as a whole. So today you can see we have those temperatures of 60 degrees, and as it goes into the night of 50, and out throughout the week we're gonna have those high 60s to those mid 40s, with that lowest being here on Saturday with 45 degrees. And throughout the week we're gonna have some sporadic temperatures at night, but that lowest is gonna be here on Friday with 28 degrees. And throughout that week we're gonna have some rain and showers here on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, with some cloudy weather here on Monday and Wednesday. But we're finally gonna get to see that sun here on Saturday. That's all I have for tonight. After the break, we'll have tonight's edition of Carolina Canines. You don't wanna miss it, stay with us.
And finally, tonight's Carolina Canine features Bobby.
Bobby is a very playful yet skittish golden doodle. Named after Ricky Bobby from Talladega Nights, Bobby is an independent pup who loves to walk herself. She is so, cute. I love it when, I mean, she is. I love puppies when you just set them down and they're like little babies. It's just adorable. Seeing them, it's like watching your puppy walk for the first time is like a parenting experience.
And it seems like Bobby's independent from day one. And that wraps up tonight's edition of Student News at 7.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SGTV at USC.
To keep up with all of our content, be sure to also visit us online at sgtvonline.com. For SGTV News 4, I'm Caroline Smith.
And I'm Tyler Perrone. From all of us here at SGTV, have a great night, Carolina. Forever to be.